Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting Sparks Toyota, and I'm checking out a 2022 completely redesigned Toyota Tundra in the SR5 trim level Crew Max cab two-wheel drive truck. This truck is sitting on 265/70 Michelin tires wrapped around 18-inch alloy wheels with a gloss black finish. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors on all four wheels. The name of this color is Supersonic Red, and it's a nice deep red color, and it is an upgraded color as well. It has a little bit of metal flake in there, and when the sun shines on it, it really comes to life. So here in the front, it has a wide open big grille, and it's all a matte black. Now this one has the TRD grille in it, and you'll notice the emblem is wide open so air can flow through there, and just wide open space here for airflow. Now this helps with, of course, cooling the engine and all that stuff, but it also has these louvers in here that close when the vehicle doesn't need so much cooling, so that way it forces the air around the engine bay and makes a little bit more of an aerodynamic shape. There is a camera here. You can see there's one camera that actually has 6 cameras on this truck, and I'll show you where they're at. There's the radar adaptive cruise control sensor here as well. Parking sensors across the front and the back. There's one there. Another one is here, body colored, kind of blends in nicely. There's also a big chrome embellishment frame around the grille, which really is emphasizing the size of the grille. So you can see the actual like body color is not here, it's just a little bit on the side there. The rest of it is just wide open grille. Now the headlights, LED. All the exterior lights are LED, so it has a multi-reflector headlight system. The outer two are the low beams and the reflector portions. So there's 3 different sections, and then the inner portion is, joins in, and that's for your high beams. Taking a look at the profile, just want to point out that this windows have been tinted here in the front, so that does not come tinted from the factory here. But you'll notice when it does have that tint there, it solidifies the glass from the back all the way around to the actual windshield. So the pillar here is a gloss black. This pillar is also gloss blacked. It's blacked out. So that way it kind of gives it that wraparound effect to the front. Typically vehicles will have that effect in the back, but here it has it in the front, which is pretty interesting. Now the handles are body colored on the sides, but the upper and lower portions, I'll show you up close, they have like a gloss black, as well as the side mirror here. So it's body colored on the top, and then it has a gloss black on the bottom. So it does have matte black wheel wells right here, and then the little mud flaps there. But a lot of gloss black and gloss red. The emblems are black, and you can see the two-tone handles there with the red and the black on the inside, and it's on the top and bottom basically. And then you have the Tundra badging here as well, blacked out. Now there's a camera on the underside of the side mirror, and that's part of the like a 360 top-down camera view. This is what the key looks like, and it's pretty typical Toyota key basically. Nothing on the back, has the emblem here on the front, and it's a full proximity key system. You can use the truck 100% without taking the key out of your bag or a pocket. But it does have useful buttons as well, lock and unlock, the ability to lower the tailgate, which is nice, and a panic button. There's also a physical key on the inside as well, in case you need to use that. Let's go ahead and push that panic button. Has a pretty strong horn. It sounds kind of like a mixture between a car and a truck, I guess. And then, so yeah, you can release, I'll show you that in a few minutes. We'll actually release the tailgate, which is really handy as you're approaching the vehicle. But using the vehicle, as long as you have this key with you, it can be in your pocket, in a bag, as long as it's within a close proximity to the outside of either the driver or passenger front doors, You can lock the door by placing your hand or your finger over the sensor indicated by this little dimple right here. So let's go ahead and put my finger there. It senses the key, it senses my hand position and locks the doors. It also, the way it's set right now, it auto folds the side mirrors as well. To unlock it, you simply put your hand behind the handle. It senses the key on the outside of the door and it unlocks the doors and allows you access to the vehicle. There's also a physical key here on the driver's side only. The blind spot and rear cross traffic alert system has an indicator here on the side mirrors. So it's integrated in the mirror itself. It will illuminate when there's a vehicle in your blind spot. So the inside of the passenger door here, it's almost all black except for some metallic accents. And you see the door kind of goes down quite a ways, but not all the way down. So there's a little bit of space there, but it does try to cover up a lot of that threshold. So there's soft touch surfaces here. It's kind of like a, not super duper cushy soft, but it is a soft touch here. This is a hard touch, and then a little bit of soft touch there. So there's not a lot of cushiness going on here on the door. Most of it is the hard plastics. Now this right here is enclosed, so you can utilize that as a little pocket, and there's also a little felt lining at the bottom as well. I don't know if you can see that. So that way if you put something in there, it's not going to rattle so much. Unlike these other pockets, you have a little pocket there, which is nice. It kind of goes down in there a little ways so things don't fall out. And then you have the larger area there with bottle holders as well. So the threshold has a little bit of a plastic sill plate here and here. The passenger seat has a full power seat on. I mean, it's completely up and down, tilt. So that's really nice. A lot of power seats don't have the ability to raise and lower on the passenger side anyways. Tilt, and then a two-way lumbar adjustment. And these are really nice seats. It is a Softex material, so it's a simulated leather material. But check out the patterns there. Really neat looking. And it has the perforations. They are heated as well. Heated seats. Really impressive seats. When I opened up the door, that was the first thing that really caught my eyes. It's just a really nice looking seat. Plenty of legroom here. It does have two places for the floor mat to hook in place. All this is a hard plastic here, and then here, even the dash is hard plastic, all that. It does have a lockable glove compartment, and it has like a little shelf in there, which is nice. Kind of helps organize the glove compartment area. And then right behind it, there's a little door, and that's where you'll find the cabin filters. You can replace them in there. So we have more of that metallic accent here around the vents. And then there's a nice little cubby hole right in here to kind of quick access stuff. And it kind of leans back and has a little lip right here. So whatever you put in there is not gonna fly out if you floor it or something like that. It's a nice little spot to put stuff. And I find those type of pockets helpful because let's say if you want to take something with you, it's right there in front of you, so it's not as easy to forget about it, you know, like you don't accidentally forget it because it's right there and you can see it easily. So there is a handle on all four doors. So the front doors and the back doors, including the driver's side, have a handle there so you can get in and out easier. There's a pocket with a power supply there in the top center, 12-volt power supply. So you'll notice the front door, lots of space to get in and out. The swing of the door is adequate. There's lots of headroom, just plenty of room to get in and out of the vehicle. The back door is even bigger. The swing of the door is even wider, and then the space to get in and out is even just larger, just in general. Now, part of this is you can actually utilize this area in addition to passengers, but you can also use it for some cargo space. So if you're trying to put a big box in there, it is nice to have the outside, the door, the swing out as wide as possible, and also the opening as well. And remember, this is the Crew Max. So here's the inside of the back door. Very similar styling as the front. It has little pockets here. The handle could be a pocket. That goes in there. Little storage area there and at the bottom. So it's very similar styling. A lot of, hard plastics. It's soft here, but not like super soft. But the rest of the door is a hard plastic. There's the threshold. The back seats are basically a bench seat, and they're pretty high off the floor, so your knees aren't going to be sticking up in the air so much. At least they're here on the ends. In the middle, it has a pretty good size hump there in the middle, so you want to keep that in mind. It is flat on top, but it's still a significant hump in the middle. So the styling of the seats, even though they're not as bolstered and as rounded, they're kind of more flat, but the style is very similar to the front seats. They do have the latch system for car seats, and it's kind of right in here, so you can see them easy and get to them, but not an eyesore. They don't have any covers to take off and lose or anything like that. Has an armrest and cup holders. Now you notice the armrest, like if you put your arm there, it's right on top of the cup holders, which is interesting. You'd think it'd have it extended out a little bit more, but it is very soft though, unlike the doors. So it has some cup holders there, a little place to put a cell phone or whatever. That flips up out of the way in case you need a center passenger. On the back of both front seats is a pocket, so you can see the pocket there. There's a little storage cuppy there, 2 more cup holders that can be accessed from the front passengers or the back passengers, and have little articulating arms to accommodate for different size cups. Some vents here, and there's also a AC 400 watt, which is pretty nice, 120 volt power adapter. This is a power inverter, basically. That's a 3-prong, just like you'd find in your house. Edison outlet. Now you notice there's no center dome light, so I'm curious as to it doesn't seem like I hadn't seen this truck at night, but I don't think the interior lights are going to be very adequate. It does have some lights here in the back. So if you buy one of these, you might want to buy a flashlight as well. You can flip the seats up, and it has some under seat storage. And it's completely enclosed, so whatever you put back here is not going to be rolling out, sliding out from underneath the seat. It'll be completely secure underneath the seats. There's also some dividers here, which you can put in different places, and there's a pretty good amount of space here. Folding the seats down reveals some more cargo space, just kind of a little bit of sliver space back here to put some extra stuff. And this is also where you'll find the spare tire and tools. The spare tire is located underneath the vehicle, like you saw in the very beginning of the video. Taking a look at the back of the vehicle, it has a gloss black right here, a little shark fin antenna, and then there's some lights, LED lights up here. You have bed lights, you have a brake light, like a third brake light up there. There's also 2 cameras up here. One is for the cargo, so it can actually look down and see what's going on in the back of the truck. And the second one is the rear view camera, like the rear view mirror, except for it has a rear view camera. So the styling here, very interesting. Has a little bit of emphasis on the squareness of the box by angling up the tailgate a little bit. And the tail lights are, they're vertical like this, kind of emphasizing the height. So it really kind of makes it look bigger here in the back than the front, and sometimes when you look at it. Now the reverse camera, the backup camera, is located right here. It's not in the very center position, but it is close to a center position. There's a little light right here as well. So there's a trailer hitch, and there's a 4- and 7-way outlets here above the bumper. So they do have covers, but they're very easy to get to since they're above the bumper, and also it stays relatively clean, you know, compared to, say, having them down here somewhere. These are the reverse lights. They're also LED. There's parking sensors. There's one there, one here out in the red portion, and then a very mirror-ish chrome accent there and there. Now the tailgate, you can lower it with the key. You can lower it by pushing this button, and on the higher trims there's a little button that you can push on right here. So not sure why they don't have it on the lower trims. It would be nice to have it, be able to push that button in that position as well. But let's go ahead and use the key, and basically what it does is it lowers down in this very soft manner. So you basically just push and hold that button, and it comes down and has a soft landing. It does kind of swing down fast, but then it slows down and has a nice soft landing there. Now the tail lights are LED. The tail lights, the reverse lights, the brake lights, the cargo bed lights are all LED. At first glance, looking at this bed, you might think it is a bed liner, but it's actually a composite bed. So it's just made like this. You don't need a bed liner. You don't need a spray in or anything like that. It's like the Tacoma, basically. It's an extremely durable material that you just can't dent it or anything. It's nearly indestructible. So it's really nice that they included that on the Tundra. Now it has a tie down here. There's a little bed light here. There's also cargo lights up here as well. There's a tie down here as well. These are fixed tie downs here and here. And then right here there's a rail in which you can attach a cleat, and it can attach it anywhere on that rail. There's also little places where you can put dividers here, like 2x4s or whatever, in different positions. Kind of break up the bed a little bit if you need to. And you can see that rail's on this side as well. And there's also, if you look here, a 400 watt, 120 volt power inverter here in the bed as well. And it is a 3-prong. So it's 400 watts when the vehicle's running, 100 watts when it's not running. The length of the bed is right out 5 foot 5 inches, or 65 inches right there. And then to the end of the tailgate, if you're using that for hauling something, it's right at 89 inches. So 7 foot 5 inches to the end of the bed. The box height is right at 21 inches basically. The fuel door is here on the driver's side, and it has a traditional cap, tether, and a little place to hang the cap while you're pumping gas. Starting it up, as long as you have the key inside the vehicle, just place your foot on the brake and push this button to start it up. Nice TRD red candy-like button. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. The floor mat, there's no floor mat there now, of course, but there's places, 2 places here for it to hook in place, so it keeps it from sliding it around. It's a nice sporty raised rubber aluminum pedals for the accelerator and brake pedal. There's also a pretty good sized footrest there on the left side. Let's take a look under the hood. To open the hood, there's a latch pretty much right here in the very center. So right above the emblem, just reach in, you move it to the left, and then you lift up on the hood. It takes like almost no energy to open the hood. And goes up. It doesn't go up very far, but it does go up really easy. It does have those shocks there to hold it up for you. There's an insulation on the underside of the hood. There's also seals around the entire engine compartment. So there's a seal right here, all the way across the back, there on the sides. This helps with airflow and noise, that kind of thing. So it's covered up with this big cover, and this cover, it's like a hard plastic, and it has some like soft foam underneath it. It helps with the dampening noise, is one of the purposes of it. Now, you may notice that it is a mechanical fan here, which is just like the previous models. So the battery's here on the left side. It's easy to get to, that's nice. Pretty good amount of space for the most part. This truck is powered by an iForce 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. It has 24 valve dual overhead cam with dual VVT. It puts out 389 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission. It does have the ability to manually sequence through the gears as well. The inside of the driver's side is just like the passenger side, except for it has a few more buttons. So here's the power windows, and all of them are one touch up and down. So you can just press a button and it goes right up and down like so. With the front and the back windows go all the way down, which is nice. Door lock controls, you can have the automatic power side folding mirrors, or you can manually do it right here. Then you can adjust them here as well. You just pick a side and adjust it like a little joystick. So the driver's seat, basically just like the passenger seat. It's a full power seat. You can go up and down and tilt and all that stuff. So there's nothing that's special. Usually the driver's seat one-ups the passenger in some way. In this case, it's basically the same. But they are really nice looking seats. They do have plenty of functionality, and so far they feel comfortable to me. To the left of the steering column, there's quite a few buttons here. So you can turn on the 120 volt AC power inverters here. So once you turn it on, it'll have that little light indicated they're on. It also lets you know on the screen in the dash that it's on. Heated steering wheel, you can turn that on. It has a light as well. This has the ability to fine-tune your headlights. So if you have, like you're hauling a trailer, if you have a lot of payload in the back and it's squatting the back of the truck, you can lower the headlights and you can raise them back up, you know, depending on if you're blinding other drivers. So that's a nice feature that you can do right here behind the wheel. You can adjust the headlight tilt. The parking sensors, you can turn that off. Default will be on. You can reset the trip here. You can adjust the dimmer switch for the interior gauges. You can cycle through the brightness that you want here. This feature, this is the auto stop start feature off button. So if you want this feature off, you can turn it off here. Automatic high beams, you can have that on or off. And then the cargo light, you can have it on, off, or have it turn on with the door if you put it in the center position. It also has a tilt and a telescoping steering column as well. And you lock it in place here. Looking at the window sticker, it does show the standard equipment here, and then the upgraded. These are the upgrades right here. So you can see it has the advanced off-road technology package, the premium audio package, and the TRD off-road premium package. You can see the prices next to those, and it kind of lists out what it has in each package. Plus is an upgraded color, and a heated leather steering wheel is another upgrade. So you can see it's not just a standard, you know, SR5. It does have some upgrades as well. I'm sitting in the driver's seat checking it out, and I have the driver's seat all the way back and all the way down. I'm 6 feet tall, just to give you an idea of the potential legroom here. And plenty of legroom. I mean, I could barely touch the pedals here with the seat all the way back. So if you're over 6 feet tall, shouldn't really have a problem with the legroom here. And the seat's quite a ways off the floor, so that's another kind of plus. So I would have to bring it up quite a ways to right about right there. So a good 4 or 5 inches forward for me to be comfortable driving it and reach the pedals and everything. The steering wheel is like a leather wrapped or soft text, like the seats. The simulated leather wrapping that you find on the seats is on the steering wheel as well, and then you have this metallic accent on them as well. Really thick spot in the center and the bottom. Really feels nice. All the different positions in which you can, hold the steering wheel. It's a little bit less soft here at the top and smaller, and then it gets cushier as you go down, basically. And it's like super cushy down here, which is pretty interesting. It looks really impressive. So the buttons on the steering wheel, the buttons here on the right side is the cruise control here at the top, but you'll notice these are kind of separate down here at the bottom, here and here, because this is for your radio. So you have your volume for the radio, voice recognition, mode, so this changes your audio source, and then there's the tracks. You can change through the radio stations or the tracks here. So that's kind of like a separate deal at the bottom. Right above that, here on the right side, is the cruise control. So you can turn it on, resume, cancel, set it, the speeds that you want. You also have the adaptive radar cruise control, in which you can set the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you right there. The lane keep assist, it has the road departure warning and the lane keep assist system. Lane centering, basically, it keeps the vehicle in the lane, or it has the road departure alert, and you can turn those on or off here. On the left side, you can see the volume is here, but right above that, you have these arrows and these up and down and OK. That corresponds with the screen between the gauges. We'll get to that in just a minute. And there's also a back button. And then this is for the phone. So if you want to answer a call, somebody's calling you, once you have the Bluetooth paired to your phone, you can use that button to send or receive calls. You can also use it to hang up. So it's the same button. You push the button to answer, you push the same button to hang up. Windshield wiper controls are here on the right side. On the left side is the turn signal, but it also has the headlight switch integrated. So there's the daytime running lights off, automatic, parking lights, and then the headlights on. Fog lights are turned on or off here. So it has a fairly traditional gauge cluster, and so it has the RPMs tachometer here on the left side with the engine coolant temperature. On the right side is the speedometer and the fuel gauge. There's also the battery, the charging system here, and the oil pressure. It doesn't give you a precise number, it just kind of gives you a range there. And in the center is a screen which gives you the digital speedometer. It shows the digital clock, outside temperature, your odometer, what gear you're in. Also the different information there on the center, so like distance to empty. So using these buttons here on the left side, the up and down, the arrows left and right, and the back button, we can get some more information here. So cycle to the right and left, you'll see it kind of like shows you that this is part of a menu system. So you can see the little icons pop up as I scroll to the right and left. But the first one here, we can go up and down in, so it shows the digital speedometer. We can scroll down and get information about the fuel economy and distance to empty. The right here is the eco indicator. So this will, as you're driving, you can keep an eye on that if you want to get in the perfect zone for saving fuel. Basically, you don't push the vehicle much. You just kind of you go easy on your driving. Scrolling to the right will be your next icon here, and then it has showing you a digital compass, which way the vehicle's facing. Scrolling down, this will be your lane keep assist in your radar adaptive cruise control specific information. The next one, whatever your radio is doing, will be here. The next one, it has your trip, but also has other information here as well. So let's scroll down. So this will show your tire pressure. Now you have to drive a little bit for it to show. It's not going to show just sitting parked for some reason. The next one will be your trailer gain information. So some of these features will not be active since there's no trailer. But there is a pitch and roll sensor, so it can tell if the vehicle's tilted forward and back or side to side. So right now we're pretty much on level surface, so it's all level all the way around. This is helpful for off-roading and stuff like that. And it goes back to your trip. Scrolling to the right, we'll go into your settings. You can go in and turn on or off features, blind spot, parking sensors, rear cross traffic alert. You can go in and set up your trailer, stuff like that. Scrolling to the right again will be stored messages. So like say it'll pop up a message and then it'll go away. Well, this is where you can find out what that message was if you didn't catch it the first time. And then it scrolls back again to the original information screen basically, and that shows your digital speedometer, which will be my default. You can have it on any of these screens. You can go through here, or you don't have to. It's just there in case you want to get the information, but you can just choose the one that you want. So we saw the start button, which is pretty cool, but just below that is the trailer brake gain control, and it's backlit illuminated, which is nice because it's kind of in this little dark spot right here. It has this really large touchscreen, very impressive. Now it does have a little bit of a flicker to it on my camera. I've adjusted the all kinds of different things to try to get it to go away, and I can't get it to go away. Usually I can, but in this particular vehicle, you're just gonna have to deal with a little bit of flickering going on, but that's not in real life. It's just on the camera system because of the camera frame rate. So it looks like a big tablet or something. It's very large. Things are very large and easy to read. Okay, so the screen is set up with these icons here on the far left. So there's navigation, radio, phone, vehicle, and then your settings. So you can quickly go from one to the other right there on the left side, and everything is large, easy to read. Now this vehicle isn't fully set up, and that's one of the things about this system is that you have to set up things with your cell phone. The new owner will have to set it up basically. So some things will, be, I can't show you because it's not set up. So the navigation, you have to subscribe to it. So it's basically a dead end right now. The radio, you do have different sources, AM, FM, satellite radio. You have Apple Music and Amazon Music. You also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capabilities on this vehicle as well. But you notice it has a big screen, but it doesn't have a lot of little tiny writing and stuff. Everything's large buttons, large text. You have a large clock over there so you can see it. And it's just relatively easy to see, but until you set up stuff, it just gives you a dead end, All right, so let's go to the vehicle. So you have trip information, there's history, vehicle alerts, anything like that, and then the settings here. Now there's some features on this vehicle that I think will be updated rapidly. This vehicle is relatively new on the market, so they're going to have to work out some bugs. So it's something that, since it's software, it's easy to upgrade. It'll be easy to solve any software issues and upgrade the system basically to be more reliable, I guess you can say. But yeah, there is some features that, like on your cell phone, there's an app and there's features that you will have to pay for, for certain features. So just keep that in mind when you set it up. Make sure that you're aware that some of the features you have to pay for. It's like a subscription type deal, and then some of them are you just have to set it up, to your personal liking or whatever. But you can see it's a very simple system. It's just a big screen, and like I said, you have to set up stuff. Okay, so down here is a big volume knob, so you can really easily change the volume knob, even with gloves, and it's kind of has a nice texturing here. And then the climate control, you see these buttons that go up and down. So the temperature, you can adjust those like so. You do have an automatic fan speed. You can sync both of them if you want, the driver and passenger, so dual zone. Mode, that changes where you want the air to blow, and then there's the passenger temperature there. There is a USB port right here. It's kind of like interesting spot because that's where you have to plug in, like if you want to connect to the system, your phone or whatever. And it's kind of like the cord's going to be in the way all the time, but that's just where they chose to put it. And then you have a heated seat, 3-stage, high, medium, and low and off. Same thing for the passenger side. Front and rear defrosters. The rear defrosters also turn on the heated side mirrors, recirculate the air, or you can have air flow in, and the air conditioning, a specific button there as well. There's also there's a trailer mode, so you want to turn that on so the vehicle knows to be prepared for a trailer. And then you can turn on the camera here. This is like great. The camera system is really fantastic. So when you push this button, it'll pop up and you can kind of get an idea of what's going on around the truck. You can turn that off. So even if your vehicle's not in reverse, you can check out this camera and get a view from inside the vehicle or outside the vehicle. It kind of simulates what the truck looks like. It's, you know, the cameras are all facing outward, but it gives you an idea of what's around the vehicle, and also, you know, how close you are to the things and that kind of thing. It kind of stitches together those 4 cameras around the outside. You know, it has a camera in the front, it has a camera in the back, one underneath each side mirror, and then there's 2 mirrors back here. I mean, 2 cameras back here. One aims in the bed, and the other one is the rear view camera. So you can see the rear view mirror is actually a rear view camera as well. We'll get to that in just a minute. All right, now, and I'll get to more camera stuff here in a second as well. Traction control, you can turn that off. Default is on. There's your 4-way flashers. And then there's some blank buttons over here, so you can utilize that for other things. Right in here is the electronic parking brake and the brake hold feature. So when you pull this on, it engages the rear wheels, and, you know, basically it's electronic parking brake. It's not an emergency brake per se. And then the auto hold feature holds the brake for you when you come to a complete stop, and you just push the accelerator to continue. It'll release the brake for you. So here's the shifter. It has a little TRD emblem on it as well. And let's go ahead and put it in reverse, because all kinds of camera stuff pops up. So check it out. You have a view all the way around the vehicle. Turn the brightness down a little bit. And so you can see a top-down view. You can see a back view right now. But also you can see a front view as well. But it has these different abilities to see in different areas right here. So you can have, once this camera system pops up, in this particular case, you can make selections. So if you want to see in your blind spots on both sides, there in the front, your front wheels, the very front view, the cargo view, those are the different views basically. So since we have in reverse, the most relevant view is the view behind the vehicle. All right, there's my Toyota Insider. He's walking out there. His name is Michael Holmes. We'll talk to him. You used to remember him earlier. All right, so we can turn the guidelines. We can change the different views. We can also turn them on or off. There's also there's a center line as well. We can turn that on or off. There's also this automatic function. I really like that, because when you slow down going forward and you get really, really slow, like you're gonna park or stop, it automatically pops up the camera system so you can see your position around things around the vehicle, which is nice because this is a big truck, so it's really kind of hard to see really close to the vehicle. So it has this camera system that really does a good job. And then this button right here is like the off-roading type deal. So it gives you the view on both sides of the vehicle and the rear of the vehicle right now, because we have it in reverse. But also you have your pitch and roll as well. It kind of pops up here as well. So it's really cool. The camera system is great. Really liking it. Okay, so neutral, drive, and then you have the ability to manually cycle through the gears here by bumping it like a ratchet shifter here. So if you need to downshift or whatever, going down hills, you can do that as well. All right, so here's a storage area, and you can put your cell phone here or whatever. It has like these little, like a little lean shelf here, and a wide open space to put some stuff. Fantastic, nice open space there. Then cup holders, little articulating arms. One side is lower than the other for different size cups. Height as well as width, so it's really nice. Keeps them from waddle, like it put a bottle in there and it wobbles around if it doesn't have something to secure it. So I like that, these little arms right here. Okay, so this armrest for the driver and passenger, it has this open space here so you can put some stuff. Has a little space there, space here. This slides back and you have a lot of space under this because this whole thing lifts up. Now before I get to that, this is kind of like rubbery soft, but it's not too bad. It's not like a pillow or anything, but it is soft enough. And it keeps it separated from the passenger. So that way you got your own property lines going on here. All right, so this lifts up. It has a little button right here that releases it and you can lift up. It goes up right there. And then it has this storage area, which is great. You know, you just pile stuff in here like crazy. And there's a little small pocket there as well, and place to put some coins, and a USB and USB-C port, charge ports. This has like a little rubber lining in it. This is all like rubberized down here as well. And there's like a separate area over here, and that has like a rubber bottom as well. So it has a little compartmentalized places so you can put stuff, you know, separate things in a... You can try to keep it, basically, it's rubberized here as well. You can try to keep it organized best you can, but eventually it's just going to pile up and be like the junk drawer of the vehicle. Now I mentioned the rear view camera system. You can also flip it and actually have a rear view mirror, traditional rear view mirror if you like. And it has an auto dim function as well. It's auto dimming right now because I have the shade over the light sensor. But the rear view camera is a nice clear view. So if you have, like, you know, people in the back seat or cargo in the back seat and obstructing your view or whatever, this is a way of kind of seeing what's behind you. It doesn't give you the full view like on the sides and everything, but it gives you a really good view of what's directly behind you. You do have some setting as well, so you can go into some settings there and adjust different things that you might need to adjust. You also have the HomeLink garage door opener controls here on the left side, and you can set those up as well in that menu system. You can also change the language, which is pretty neat. So I have a place to put some safety glasses or sunglasses or whatever right here. Little tiny reading lights, tap lights for the driver and passenger. And the interior lights can turn all on. You can see it's not going to blind you because there's not much lights in here. All off, or have them turn on with the door in that center position. This button is pretty neat because I'll show you that in just a minute. The visor has a mirror and a light in it. It does have the ability to slide out on a metal rod here. It has a little clip on this side so you can put something. It is a cloth material here on the visor. Same thing with the headliner, and the passenger headliner and visor is the same basically for that. Looking at the visibility there in the back, the pillars are not that big, but the headrests do kind of get in the way a little bit. But the visibility, I mean, there's so much glass back there, so you can see really good. Also, that button I just showed you a minute ago gives you the ability to lower that full glass back there. So you can raise and lower that whole glass, which is really nice. Now, of course, with the visibility, the blind spot, the camera system, the rear cross traffic alert, the parking sensors, front and rear, all that stuff helps out with driving the vehicle. So even though the visibility is a little bit limited right here directly behind the vehicle, having the rear camera system instead of a rear view mirror, all these different things really help out. I mean, it really is a breeze to drive this truck, and parking it and all that stuff because of that camera system and all the sensors and stuff. It's really nice. I'm gonna have a link to the window sticker, all kinds of full spec sheets direct from Toyota different packages and shows you what's in different packages. It's different this year. There's the same trims, but the packages are completely different. I'm gonna have a ton of information linked in the description so you can check all that out, because it's literally like 40 pages worth of stuff. So you can look at what's relevant for you and the trim that's relevant for you, and you can kind of get an idea of what's going on, you know, in the specs and packages and trim level differences, and all that stuff will be in the description. So thank you for watching. Thank you to Michael Holmes here at Sparks Toyota, and I'll see you guys next time.